It is about creating a conversation in a community among Canadians and building a place, a platform for them to come, to talk, to become part of a community. Yes, to give you their email, but the second that they smell that it's about the money, and that's all it's about, people are pretty smart. You know, oh, well, the Green Party really cares about me. All I ever get from them is emails saying they want money. Right? That's not, can you do it? Yes. Will you raise money? Yes. Will you have squandered an amazing opportunity to do more, connect more, raise more money than you could ever imagine? Yes, you will. That's the key thing here. If you build this for the money, you will fail. If you build a community, that community will grow itself and it will contribute, but it won't do both. And I want to explain that to you. One of the things we learned about in the Dean campaign is, and this makes sense, I'll explain it to you. When you start trying to build a community, we started out with 432 people. When you try to build that community, there's something that happens when you start. What we did, I'll tell you exactly what we did. We went out to the 432 emails that we had, and we had a simple thing. First of all, these people are crazy. They're crazy in a very good way. I don't mean crazy like me. I mean, you know, they're good crazy. I guess that means I'm bad. Yeah, anyway. But what I mean is they're so energized. Somehow, 432 people out of 300 million found us. They found our site. And they joined. I mean, they said, here's my email, here's my zip code. I want to be part of the Dean thing. Those people have so much energy, it's beyond belief. I mean, that's because they self-select. They're so different than everybody else. Like his mom, who didn't even know he was running. But what happens is, when you have that 432, we just sent them an email. And the email was very simple. It said, there's only 432 of us. But the most important thing you can do this week for the movement, for Howard Dean, is to find one neighbor, one family member, one coworker, talk to them about it, ask them to come here, tell them it's important to you, tell them they should check it out, and ask them to think about signing up. I mean, you are our evangelist. And go out and find more people and get them to come here. And at the end of 3 weeks, at the end of the week, we were at 1,200. At the end of the month, we were at 11,000. We did this, that was our only message, up to 159,000 people. I mean, we never did, where's the money, right? What we did was we asked them to get others to join the cause, to grow the list, to grow the community. Now, an interesting thing happened when we started asking for money, and it starts to make sense when you think about it. They did. They gave us a lot of money. They also stopped growing. I mean, every time we went into money-raising stage, they would give us $7.6 million in a week, and during that week, we wouldn't grow at all. And so what we discovered is, Philip was saying this, if you give people too many choices, like if we had, you can volunteer, you can contribute, you can get one more person, they always did what was ever the top thing. So we started rotating on our site. If this was like volunteer time, we'd rotate the top button, we'd be volunteer. Second button would be contribute. Third button would be, we'd find more people to join. If we were in membership phase, find someone else to join became the first thing. When we got at the end of the fundraising quarter, contributions went up at the top. They would always do, there are people who will do all three, they're very, very few. I mean, they're the diehards, but most people have time or energy only to do one thing. And so they won't do both. The other thing that happens is people become, the more appeals you do for more money, the more reluctant they are to get their friends to join. Because if I know that I got 10 emails last 2 weeks from the Green Party asking me for money, and now they want me to go ask Frank to join, all Frank's going to get is a bunch of emails asking him for money, and he's going to be ticked at me. So I'm just trying to give you some of the insights that we got, and we learned this, through making the mistake, and what we learned is it keeps being about building that community. And the glue that holds that community, if you go back to the David Haynes thing, suddenly when the Green Party needs help, that community will flow. And when candidates need help, that community will flow in with money. And they will give you the resources you need. But it's got to be for real. We really do need it for this. And it's got to be well thought out, a campaign, a drive that really matters and seems to give it, and some of it comes from them. I'll tell you the first. I just want to make sure I'm not talking past my PowerPoint here. The thing that happened on the money thing is we didn't do the money first. The first time anybody gave money, the first fundraising drive for the Dean campaign was not our idea. We were doing the just go find one more person, go find one more person, go find one more person thing. And in March, when we were like 11,000, we've gone from that 432 to about 11,000. In March, we never found this guy. We know it was a guy, and we know he was in New York. That's all we know. We tried to find him. He sent out an email that said, hey, there's 11,000 of us, and if each of us gave Dean $10, that'd be a hell of a lot of money. Now, I was sitting there going like, I don't know, it'd be 110 grand. Edwards and Kerry have 7 million, but hey, it's all, it's a nice idea. But he sent it out, and he said it was a very interesting thing in it. He said at the bottom, and if each of us puts a penny at the end of our contribution, so $10 and a penny or $25 and a penny, when we send it over the net, that'll be our badge, that they know it's us that are doing this, the meetup. He did this at a meetup. Well, 100 grand didn't come in. $400,000 came in like 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, oh, this is the David Haynes thing happening all over again. And what happened was, it was Nick O'Malley, my webmaster, came in and said, there's something really weird going on. We had no idea this had happened. We had no idea this had happened. We literally sat there and said, hey, why is $400,000 coming in, and why do they all have a penny next to them? And so that's being curious people, we went and searched, and people started saying, oh yeah, some guy in New York said we should do this, and he's right, and we're happy. And that's how that happened. I mean, we let it actually come from the people, come from them. So the thing about building a community is community takes time. And the problem with candidacies and parties is they want money now. Right? So they don't. This is why this is not working anywhere. I mean, the way it did in the Dean campaign. I mean, people have made it work, but I'm saying the reason it really isn't happening the way it should happen is because no one's putting in the time to build the community.